Going? Yes, it is. Good afternoon, booktubers. This is the Scholar Gentleman. I wanted to do something constructive today, so I'm doing my book report for BookTube. I just finished this. It was a pretty quick read. I don't know. I ordered it almost by impulse, and it just got released. So it just showed up on the day it got released into my mailbox. But it's The House That Horror Built by Christina Henry, and I would say it's half mystery. It's half mystery, half horror. Christina Henry knows how to really, really build an atmosphere, in the sense that you've got a single mom, Harriet, short for Harriet, single mom who's a horror fan, maybe slightly more than casual, probably on the level of me. Who she knows her movies, she knows her props and everything like that, and she's gone to work for a a cult Hollywood director who's directed a handful of cult horror movies. This takes place in Chicago. So in LA, there was a scandal involving his wife and son. His son was accused of killing somebody. To escape the paparazzi, he came to live in Chicago. And to escape the limelight, to escape, the whole scandal. So anyway, she basically finds a job with him, and it's a simple job. It's basically her helping him to dust the whole house and dust all of his props that he's collected from horror movies and some of his own horror movies, etc., so on. And so it goes. I want to say it's a pretty functional professional relationship, um, until her personal life starts getting involved. Um, she's a single mom. She's been single ever since she ran away from home from her extreme fundamentalist Christian family, who basically caught her reading horror mags and everything, and burnt everything, burnt every horror mag, burnt everything, every novel she ever read, every Stephen King novel, every Clive Barker novel. So she just took off just before she graduated from high school. She's been living on her own ever since, in shelters and everything else. So now she's a single mom. She met the wrong guy who lit out on her because he didn't want to be a parent. Been raising him ever since, and eventually those problems come to start dominating her life. It's a very, very hard life she's living, and the director, I'll call him Xavier. I forget his last name in the book. Maybe they'll tell us. Maybe they'll tell. Oh, Javier Castillo. That's it. So she helps Mr. Castillo clean his props, and he pays very well for the work, so she's able to live off that. Except she lives in kind of a crappy neighborhood, and all of a sudden, guess what? Her landlord's son has decided to sell the building and turn it into like high profit condominium. So now she's screwed. She's got 2 months to leave, and that's kind of wearing on her. And slowly but surely, it starts to wear until Mr. Castillo starts noticing and says, "What's the matter?" So slowly but surely, over time, they learn each other's confidences. The wall is lowered down, but meanwhile, in the house, there's this prop from one of his movies, like a demon in a robe. She sees it; it keeps moving, and she's the only one who seems to see it. And there's also a voice from a forbidden room that's right next to her bedroom. Whenever she's cleaning the bedroom, she hears like, help me," and some thumping from this forbidden room. But she just keeps talking. She keeps gaslighting herself. No, everything's fine. La la la. It's just my imagination. La 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 la. Everything she learned that she shouldn't do in a horror movie, pretty much. So basically, throughout the course of the novel, she's just basically talking to herself. No, I need this job. I need the money. Um, Mr. Castillo decides to throw a dinner party for some of the actors that were in his first cult movie, and it does not go well. There's a murder involved, and because it doesn't go well, um, the press get a whiff of that, and they descend upon Mr. Castillo's house, and things get worse. Long story short, Harry and her son, who loves Mr. Castillo, by the way, gets kicked out of the house, and Mr. Castillo, missing his son and missing his wife, invites them in, and decides to give him a place to stay until she can get back on her feet, which is the last thing she wanted because she didn't want to deal. She didn't want to deal with the supposed ghost hauntings and that creepy looking mask that only she could seem to see. Excuse me, get some smudge out of my glasses. So everything comes to a head when she moves into the house with Mr. Castillo, and Christina Henry just knows how to ratchet up the tension slowly but surely. Slowly but surely, the walls start closing into our main character, and she's got no options left. She didn't want to live with this guy. She didn't want to deal with the demon hauntings, supposed demon hauntings or ghost hauntings, haunting in his house. So when they move in there, finally, events come to a head. And to be honest, perversely, I kind of wish the situation had drawn out a few months, because it would have been interesting to see the disintegration of the single mother family dynamic, because you've got Mr. Castillo who misses his son, and now he's got a surrogate son in Gabe, and Gabe's mood is starting to change big time. It ended too quickly for me. I would have liked to have seen more of that whole disintegration of the family dynamic. But for the most part, it's a really, really good read. I would highly recommend it. I wouldn't say it's completely frightening, but yeah, it's a good, quick read. I just wish it had been a little longer. That's all. And when I was out looking at books at Barnes and Noble, I saw this on the horror table: buy one get one free. So at least I know this time I was bang up to date with this release. I might read some other stuff from her, like she has a whole bunch here, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it, but she really knows how to build an atmosphere. So read it if you have a mind. It's definitely written by someone who knows their horror stuff. So, okay, folks, I'm going to close it off, and happy reading, and we'll speak to you soon.